Hoo-wee. All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff on this wonderful Friday, the last Friday of the month, going into a new month in 2 days. Tomorrow's the 31st. I got one signing tomorrow, a few house inspections, provided the rain don't interfere, and it's raining right now. I'm glad that I just, how they say, bit the bullet and just say, let me just go out here and do all these house inspections. And I got them done yesterday, and there was one I could have did today, but I just went ahead on and knocked it out, and I'm glad I did because it is raining like something, fierce right now. So going to got a doctor's appointment. Like a lot of people, especially a lot of men, hate going to the doctor and all that. They're always coming up with something they want to get on you about. So this for the Veteran Affairs, my VA checkup and everything. So going to do that. And then I got 2 closings. And then later this evening, we're going to get on Fritter Friday. If nothing else comes up for us, signings and stuff like that, we'll get on. I'm going to try to get on a little bit earlier this evening, maybe about 8 o'clock and stuff. And we're going to talk about this beloved term of notary signing agent. We're going to really get into that because a lot of people are just hard pressed on titles, and we really got to make sure that we're doing things right in notary. So we're going to look into that some tonight, and as always, answer any questions that you may have concerning the notary business. We'll do that and make sure that everybody's squared away. We're almost halfway through the year, and we got to start gearing up to just get out here and get this work done. We need to stop playing around, stop sitting on the sidelines, stop trying to find the perfect scenario. I mean, you've gone into jobs and the job wasn't perfect, so why are you trying to make the notary business that whatever I do, it has to be perfect and no errors, no this, no that? Now, I already know the answer. The answer is because you spent money in this. You didn't spend any money to go apply for a job for the most part, but you spent money to open up a business, to take the so-called training, all of that stuff. You spent money on that, so therefore you really want a return on your investment. You really want this thing to pop. But as always, you have to be ready for stuff not to go as planned and make the necessary adjustments. And if you're going into any business where you don't want to make any adjustments, you want everything to be smooth so you can have bragging rights and talk to, brag to your family how successful you are and all of that. That's not any business, and you have to be careful when there's no issues in a business. Like, well, no, everything is fine. Every time my phone ring, it's always a client. I never have to turn anybody down. I never have to say no. I never have to, I always, every time and it's like, that ain't how life works. That is not how life works. You don't even date that way. You go out there, you don't just go, okay, every guy that comes, you ain't dating every guy, you ain't dating every woman that comes up to you. You can't always have what you want. You can't every order is not going to always be right. Not every opportunity is always going to pay the most. Sometimes you go, $21 for the express lane. Who in the world is paying I'm not paying no $21 for that. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, that made my eyeballs hurt. Oh goodness. $21.35 to use the express lane. Man, they crazy. Now it's raining out here. Somebody riding over there, I guess they're gonna pay $21. I ain't doing it. But we gotta think about things, it's like success comes when you are able to adjust to the issues and traumas and difficulties that you come across while you're living life. So as you're progressing and doing something, your marriage becomes successful because you and your spouse figured out how to overcome the obstacles. You have successfully raised your child because you figured out how to overcome the obstacles that they sometimes run into. They get into some mess and you figured out how to get them through it. We champion and we praise and we give honor to people who have gone through stuff and come out smelling like a bed of roses. They're going through some poo-poo and they're doing great now. But when it comes to us, we don't want to go through anything. When it comes to us, we don't feel that it's beneath us, to be honest, in my opinion, for some folk, it's beneath you to go through something and to have to fight for your survival in that business. That's beneath you. You don't want to do that. You want everything to be on point. Yes, let's go. Yeah. And that's a dangerous person to be connected to if you're trying to do business with, because they don't know how to handle failure. They don't know how to handle difficulties and obstacles and or any kind of I forget the word, but y'all know what I'm saying. Not just difficult, just some little fancy word. I forgot it. But they don't know how to handle those challenges in life and in business. And when you're working with people or working for somebody that does not know how to handle the difficulties of life and melt down because the payment is a couple of days late, the order took a little bit longer, and they start spazzing out and they start freaking out because the documents are a little different than what they thought it was going to be, a little bit long, more pages than what they thought it was going to be. Oh, I got to go back because they forgot to send me this document. Now I got to go print, drive back an hour and print. Some people, I've had all of that. So things happen, and how you adjust to them and how you adapt to them is the key. That's the recipe for success. Give me your thoughts on that. Tell me, do you agree, disagree? If you know the formula to having the perfect business, whatever that may be, where you never make a mistake, where you never have any issues, where every single time the phone rings, it's a client that you can actually service and they're going to pay you what you said you want to be paid, then you need to share that with all of us. Matter of fact, I'll pay you for that. If you got a foolproof plan, a formula, I want to know what it is and I'll pay you for it. I will honestly pay you to be taught that from you so I can have that in my life. That's serious. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Get on down here to this doctor. See what they talking about. Hopefully ain't no mess going on. I feel healthy. I'm good. So we'll see. All right. Let me slide on over, Carl. There we go. All right. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.